silence. Be still and know that I am here. Take my hand, I will hold you. Wipe away all your tears. My grace is sufficient for you. My love will wash away the past. Lay your burdens on my shoulder. No, the trials will pass. Be still and know. Inside, do you see your own? Let's flow now with all those pretty little things you buy and all those frowns and says as deep red. Wake up to the sound of silence. Be still and know that I am here. Take my hand, I will hold you. I will wait for your tears. My grace is sufficient for you. My love will wash away the past. Lay your burdens on my shoulders. The trials will pass. Be still and know. Walking down a road all alone, turned away from home. Why do you, dear, insist on trying to do things on your own when you're crying and screaming that it's all gone away, that you've been put to shame? When will you deal? Open your eyes, or words I have, I will be here with you, with you, with you, with you. Wake up to the sound of silence. Be still and know that I am here. Take my hand, I will hold you. Wipe away all your tears. My grace is sufficient for you. My love Be still and know that I am here. Take my hand, I will hold you. Wipe away all your tears. My grace is sufficient for you. My love will wash away the past. Lay your burdens on my shoulder. No, the trials will pass. Be still and know. Inside, do you see?
That?
Well, it was weird because I was looking at my screen and all of a sudden everything disappeared and then it came back. What is going on here? It was just weird. And
well,
I think that's telling us we need a new intro.
well, it might be time, might be due.
Because when I'm watching the intro, it's pausing.
Well, strange. Didn't do it to me.
Yeah, no, it's not doing anywhere else except at my end.
Huh.
So I've tried to take it out. I put it back in, and it's still doing the same friggin' thing, and I don't know why. So what am I going to do?
No idea.
do I email Melon tomorrow and go, what the F is going on here?
You should. Just like this happens on every single show.
Yes, and I'm not happy about it. Because when you're paying for a pro account, it should act like a pro account.
It should act like a pro account.
Well, you know what? This really is a good day for a couple of reasons.
Well, can you name one of them?
I can name several, actually. There's a couple of good things. The first thing, our guest is great. I've known our guest, and he's waving in the background right now. I can see him waving in the back, and now he's doing this. So,
okay.
First of all, our guest today, Matt Baron. I can't wait to get to talk to him and put him in the hot seat this time, because he put us in the hot seat a couple of weeks ago. So we're going to put him in the hot seat. There's a couple of great things that are happening today. One, obviously, because we're on. That goes without saying. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. No, we are now, if the people that are new in the room, we are now part of DN-TV.
Which is cool. Which is really cool. It's good to finally be on. We've been discussing getting ourselves out there for a very long time. I think at least over a month, meeting with loads of people. And obviously we announced it last week. So to finally be here with a brand new group of people who are going to be tuning into the show tonight. It's our first time here. I'm very excited to show you guys what we do on this show and meet our guests and meet us. And I hope that we do it well. I mean, we have a habit of being one of the best shows in the paranormal field. So
yeah, and I will say this: I'm the nice guy. Lex, he's a nice guy, but he goes off track a little bit.
Only when certain people wind me up. It's because I'm English. It's not my fault.
Yeah. No, you know what? I'm really. I spoke to Drew today, the owner of DN-TV, and he's excited. We're excited. Hopefully, people that are coming into the room from his platform are excited or enjoy us, hopefully, like you said. And but there was another good thing. We are also now streaming on Paranormal Brew.
I know. We are everywhere.
We are everywhere. And that's the way it should be. Shouldn't it?
It should be. I mean, like I said, we are the #1 paranormal podcast in the world. And for some reason, no one knows about it yet. So
yeah. In our own minds, we are the best podcast.
Hey, I actually got a letter today. Hang on.
Yeah.
I actually got a letter today. Oh, there it is. And it says, "Dear owners of Through the Lens, you are the best show on the planet.
Okay.
Much love, Taryn. When I win this nomination, you guys can take it off me next year." So I received that today. It was great news.
I'm hoping, I'm praying. I've crossed everything, my fingers, my toes, and everything. Hopefully, she still wins the best podcast for 2021. Let's hope. I don't know if they have any winners yet. I haven't seen anything. I'm hoping that she did win, and that will be a really, I can't even talk. Really great moment for her. And for people that don't know, Taryn is our producer for the show.
Yeah, I was thinking about this the other day. Like, there is a lot of good paranormal podcasts going on at the moment. So we've got us. Paranormal Brew is fantastic. Bald and Bonkers is another good one. Obviously, we were on that a couple of weeks ago, and that's a great show. Paranormal Brew. There's so many.
Day Hill. Jay Hill.
Jay Hill as well, yeah.
Jay Hill's great, and there's what's the other one? Paranormal and History.
Yeah,
They're great. He's funny. I never understand a damn word he's saying, but he's funny. And and the reason we're mentioning all those podcasts, because I did want to talk about something for new people in the room. If you don't know this yet, but me and Taryn started we didn't start the page. The page was already there. We've just recreated the page. So we are actually, or what we've done is we've actually turned it into Podcast Central, which means that if you have a podcast and if you want to stream on another platform, reach out to me or Taryn. Go over to Parapost Network Facebook page, follow and like, and let us know that you have a podcast, what your podcast is about, and we will bring you onto the Central Network. Now, the only problem with that is most people seem to be reaching out to me, and they're not reaching out to Taryn. And Taryn's not happy about that.
and if you followed the show for a while, you know firsthand she gets rather aggressive.
Yes. She does. Yes, she does. A little bit. Just a touch. No, she's great. And but again, we started this week, and it's been doing extremely well. We added a new one today, and if you guys don't know who she is, go over to Parapost Network Facebook page, and you can find out who's going to be streaming with us. I'm hoping starting this week. So she's pretty awesome, and I think people will be surprised. What do you think? I think so too. So, anyways, other than that, let's move on. What has been going on with you this week?
Putting final touches on the tour dates, almost done. I've just got to work out the last few days. That's the last bit. And I also just need a couple more from the first few days. I know the 5th where we are. I just need to know about the 6th and 7th, I think it is. I just got to fill those gaps. But then I'm pretty much done for that, so that's good. And alongside that, this week I've been filming my Lex Paranormal's Case Files series for the YouTube channel. I'm doing 10 to start with, so I'm recording all of them and editing them all, and then I'm just going to schedule them to go out on Tuesdays. So that should be coming soon as well. And that should keep everyone entertained while we're on tour. So it's that's been my week. So it's been dates and filming. That's what I've been doing this week.
For new people in the room that don't know, I am off to the UK March 3rd till the 24th and doing a bunch of filming of different locations throughout the UK. So it should be a lot of fun. And it's a long flight. I'm not good with flights, I'll be honest. I like 2 hours. That's about it. And but this one's, I think, 8. So it should be interesting. I'm looking forward to the trip. I'm not looking forward to the flight. I'll be honest with you. So, but that's okay. Other than that, it's going to be fun. It's going to be a lot of fun. And there's going to be a lot of places that we're going to, there's going to be even places that we're going to that you haven't even seen, right?
Yes, there's 2 off the top of my head. There's the one that we're going to on the 5th. I don't really want to say where we're going because I don't want other people to turn up straight away. So,
okay, yeah.
But just in case, because the owners are the ones letting us in the building, so I just want to keep that safe for a while. But that big first one that we spoke about the other day is insane. I've been reading so much stuff about it to get prepared because I'm really excited to hear that. And the other one I can say, because we did mention it on the podcast before, Sherwood Forest. I've never been there, and it's been a huge story in the UK with Robin Hood and stuff like that. Yeah. So I'm really excited for that too. But they're all sending me stuff, and I've got the list of places they've sent me. I've heard of a few of them, but the majority of them are ones I've had to look up and learn about because I want to know what I'm going into.
What is this? You let me know what this is.
Well, Brolly means umbrella because it's raining.
Okay.
Yeah, we've got 2 storms have collided at the same time. If I get that right, we've got Storm Franklin and what's the other one? It's got a really funny name. Begins with if you're in the UK, you know the name of the storms, Enos or something like that. But it's we've been today was nuts. We had 45 mile an hour winds. which blew my decking off my balcony, so I had to go and get that back.
Mm.
So it's been a lot of fun over the last few days. Hope it should be clear before the trip because it's wet as hell.
Oh wow! So hopefully it's gone by the time I get there. That's going to really suck if it's not. Jesus.
Yeah, well, fingers crossed it is. We should be okay.
I'll keep you
warm.
here. So I'm going to put this up here, and I'm going to add to it. This is from Raymond. So I want to add to that. So Robert from Get Haunted sent out 2 hoodies for me and Lex. And if you've ever been to the Get Haunted Facebook page, go over there because he's got a picture of a guy modeling his Get Haunted hoodie. So I promised Rob that we will wear the hoodies together and, well, skipping down the Sherwood Forest path. Just kidding. I'm not going to do that. There's no way in hell I'm going to do that. But we will take some pictures together so we can send it to him and he can put them up on his site. So that would be good. So 413. What do you think? Bring on Mr. Baron?
Yeah, I think we should. We've got to interrogate this man.
Yeah, you sure?
Yep.
you know, I've known Matt. What? It's got to be 3 months now. 3 to 4 months I've known Matt, somewhere around there. And the reason I met him was he heard about Parapost through Angelina from Bad to the Bone. So he reached out to me and we started talking. He joined the site and we've been talking ever since. We actually did a show on January 15th called Women Investigate 2. And we had a bunch of incredible women up on the panel during that whole show. And that show was a long show. It was about 3 hours. It was about 3 hours long, but well worth watching. Honestly, it's just a fantastic video and we had a lot of fun. So Matt is one of those people that truly, truly believes in para-unity. And I commend him for that because para-unity is something that's been talked about for years. And he's put together a program called the P3 program that helps teams build. And maybe we'll get into that a little bit today about his program. But I'm definitely looking forward to talking to him because Matt is not used to a stripped show. So he's going to have to be well behaved. And he's laughing in the background right now. We don't go off the hinge like Matt. And there will be a couple of things that will be talked about during the show that I think me and Lex have to talk about because, there is a few copyright issues here that we need to discuss today and that Matt has done. And I think Lex will talk about that for a few minutes. But no, I'm just kidding. Just kidding. You'll understand when we get into the show what we're talking about. But let me introduce you to Matt Baron, our very, very first guest while we're streaming on DN-TV for the very first time and Paranormal Brew. Here's Matt. There he is.
What's up, guys?
How was that intro?
Good. Really good. I like it. I must say, I love the banter that you do have. That's one of the – I have to agree that, you guys have the best show. Nothing against Taryn and Paranormal Brew, but definitely give her a run for the money. Definitely.
Taryn's not too happy in the back right now.
she's trying to find the kick guest button, like get rid of him.
You know what, Matt, like while I was discussing, the intro and talking about you and stuff like that, I know you're a really, really big believer in para-unity. Yes. And I think it's important. And it's something that's been talked about for a very, very long time. So what I'm going to ask you is, before we get into the other stuff, is what is your plan? What do you want? What are you trying to accomplish with not only your P3 program, but the para-unity in general? Well,
first of all, as we know, there's a lot of drama in the field. Territorial, evidence-based, everything. one thing I want everyone to understand is we, as paranormal investigators, I fully believe we already have the answer to, is there life after death? We already have that answer. We're trying to figure out is what happens and what happens after death. And I fully believe that with everybody's skills, mindsets, talents, we have to do it together to get those answers. And if you take ego out of the equation, it definitely can happen. But we have to do it together, because nobody in this field, and nothing against anybody who has put in the time, the effort, and everything, nobody's an expert in this field. There's people who have a lot of knowledge and a lot of experience, yes, granted, but there's nobody who can call themselves, in my opinion, a professional who knows it all. So we all have to work together for it. So I also want teams and groups who don't have a voice, so to speak, who like stay backstage a lot. So, in a way, I want them to have an opportunity as well. So that's why I started doing what I've been doing. I give them an opportunity because, like I said, we all should have equal say and equal, opportunities.
Yeah. And, and while I was thinking about this, while I was trying to think of an idea for my Facebook page on Parapost Network, in the back of my mind, you were there.
I appreciate
you were in the back of my mind, and not for like, you were there because of the fact of the Para-Unity thing. That's the only reason why you were there. No,
I was going to say, I'm not going to Sherwood Forest and skipping with you guys. I'll leave that up to you.
Yeah. So when I was putting this together, or putting this idea together about all these podcasts coming onto this network, like a central network, and that's why I changed it to central, because I really truly believe that it's a central place where everybody can come to with their podcast and just put their podcast on there. And if you're on there, and it's just one click of a share. You don't have to do it 20 times. You don't have to do it 30 times like Angelina does. You don't have to do that. I appreciate when she does that, but you don't have to do that.
I love Angelina.
Yeah, she's great. And, so in the back of my mind, you were there while I was thinking about what I was going to be doing with this page. And I really commend you on really trying to, to really get that out there.
I appreciate that.
Getting more into your P3 program. Can you explain a little bit about what your P3 program is really about?
So in layman's terms, it's a community. There's like no hierarchy, so to speak. Like I said, for me, Para-Unity will work if you take the ego side out of it. So what it is a community of multiple teams, groups, individuals, enthusiasts who want to support each other. Basically, just like with your central network, just a one-stop shop, so to speak. If somebody has a question, they can just ask it. If there's a client that needs help, it's, hey, who's in Texas? Or, hey, who's in here? Who's there? And just a chance to promote yourself and to promote your team and ask questions and ideas. Just like with Parapost, in a judgment-free environment. There's no drama with it. There's no issues. And a lot of people have said, they're asking me about maintaining control, like how I control these teams and everything. No, I don't. I just bring people on. The teams are the ones who run this group, not me. I honestly don't do anything with it. I just bring them on and watch and let them do their thing. Okay,
so basically, yeah, you're bringing them on, but it's like all working together. And if somebody brings out a video, you're going to that video and sharing out that video, or somebody's bringing a podcast and you're sharing out that podcast, or you guys collectively do a podcast together, like you, Sarah and Carlos. And I think it's really good. And that's for me. And what I was saying before, when I was really thinking about this central, I really wanted to bring everybody together. And I think it's important for people to know this, because me and Taryn spoke about this the other day. We're not here trying to pull teams away from other networks and stuff like that. That's not what we're trying to do. What we're trying to do is to provide you with another platform to stream to. And, because you can have a podcast going on and somebody just finished the podcast, and those dozens of people can come over to your podcast and watch your podcast, and you've just gained maybe 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, maybe new followers.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm trying to do with this central podcast, I guess, kind of, so to speak. I haven't really determined what it is yet, but
and honestly, I love it. I love the idea of it. I love what you Taryn, and Lex, I know you're a part of it too. What you guys are doing. It's exactly what I support, and that's what I'm heading, what I want to do. And people like us, like-minded individuals like Lurker, Sarah, Carlos Lurker, Sarah, and you guys, and Taryn, and everybody. Why not? Why not be able to support each other? Large scale.
So I wanted to touch on base a little bit, because the word para unity has been thrown around a lot. I mean, probably before I started doing YouTube and before I started being a paranormal investigator, but it's a word that I've seen used a lot. And at the end of it, I mean, the end game is a wonderful idea, and I hope what you're doing and whatever all of you guys are doing is bringing it at least closer. But what is it? What do you think is the main contributing factor besides ego that causes conflict within our communities that you think we can help remove?
Honestly, I think it comes down to, obviously, like you said, without ego, it comes down to money. And just, I would respect. People are very greedy. They want, either a paycheck out of this. They want to be the next, ghost hunters, ghost adventures. They want to do all this stuff. And people don't realize that we have to work together to get out there. Like, let's go with anybody who I call one of those Hollywood investigators, millions of views and stuff like that. They started with a support network. They started off with groups of people, friends who they built off of. And I think that's where everything needs to start with, is just, taking a step back and looking at reality. You can't just sit there and, just say, hey, I'm going to be famous and just make it happen. You have to work towards it. And it's going to take a lot of people to make, to get your name out there. I mean, everything I've done so far has been with a support network, and it's growing every day. And, I don't sit there and say, people thank me for the P3 program, for the Paracast. That's fine. I appreciate it. But it's the audience that supports me. It's the people behind the scenes that support me. It's my family that supports me. So that's where the focus should be.
Yeah, I agree. I think, and this comes up all the time between me and Lex on these shows and stuff like that, talking about, the fakers and all those people. And let's be realistic here. The fakers do not help us whatsoever. And there's rumors out there, and I don't know how true this is, but there's rumors those big famous YouTubers have a little club that they meet every once in a while, and they discuss on what they're going to do and how they're going to do it in order for everybody to get more views. And it's unfortunate that happens, but I commend you for doing it. Obviously, I always have since we first started talking.
Appreciate it.
But let's get into some other stuff here. Your origin story on how you got into the paranormal. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, I think, like I said to you guys backstage, for me, there's two answers. There's a personal. I did have a couple personal experiences as a kid. One when I was in high school, but I really didn't get into the field and start investigating until I was in the military. I was stationed out in San Diego, and being a Navy man, obviously would like to drink. So I found a bar that was pretty close to where I lived, and great people, great group, just a little dive bar. And we all became friends. Well, these some of my friends, they wanted to go investigate this park that used to be a cemetery, and I was like, yeah, I'll go check it out. Why not? I've seen some of the shows; it seemed interesting. Maybe, I was skeptic. Until I actually had my first experience out there, I started catching EVPs. I saw a lot of shadows were running around that I knew there was nobody there. It's 2 a.m. There's nobody out running around besides us idiots. And it was interesting. So I decided to take that a step further and try to join a team. So I found a team. They seemed like they were legit. I liked them. And to keep the story short, let's just say there was a huge conflict of interest. So I just decided to do some research and start my own team.
Yeah. Can you tell us a little bit about one of your more personal ones?
Well, the one that really, for me, was kind of the factor to there's something else going on. My mother used to work at the state hospital locally here. And after school, I used to, drive over, obviously when I was, old enough. And I used to drive over and see her before, after school, let her know what happened and whatnot. And I'd probably say late fall, I went over, saw her, was leaving the state hospital grounds. And I know you guys remember the old Nokia phones that you pay per text and pay per minute, one of those deals.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
I only had it for emergencies. Well, that was sitting in the seat next to me. And I'm leaving the grounds and I heard it go off. I heard it vibrate because I never left it on because why would I? And I looked down for a second. And as I looked back up, about maybe 40 yards in front of me, there was a female standing in the middle of the road. I slammed on my brakes, and I had an 87 Chevy Caprice Classic, so it was a big boat. It doesn't stop on a dime. And I witnessed this female literally pass straight through my vehicle. And when it actually stopped, I got out and I said, "Ma'am, are you okay?" Nope. And got back in my car, and I drove off. I was like, nope, not doing it. So growing up in a Christian family, the paranormal was strictly taboo. It, whatever the Bible said, that's what it is. And, but that was probably the one that really got me interested.
It's a strange concept, isn't it? The paranormal is a bit taboo because I was raised in a Christian household as well. And I find it quite strange that it's that taboo when, they recognize the Holy Spirit as one thing.
Mm-hmm.
And it's always weird. Like I questioned it quite a lot when I was younger, So I feel for you there, where you couldn't really talk about it.
Well, one thing in my 15 years is I always tell those people who say that we're devil worshippers and stuff like that. I said, "Are you a Christian?" They say, "Yeah." I said, "Okay, so do you believe in angelic beings like angels and stuff like that?" They're like, "Well, yeah, of course." I said, "Okay." I said, "Do you believe in demons and Satan and that there's demons around here on earth to tempt us and to pull us down into his level?" They're like, "Well, yeah, of course." I said, "Then you believe in demonology, which is a field of the paranormal. Have a great day."
Yeah. I met off topic, but I met someone the other day who was having this discussion with me. He works with me, and he's quite a religious fella, and he's a nice guy about it. But he went, "Oh yeah, but I believe in God, but I don't believe in the other one." And I was like, "What do you mean?" Is I don't believe in like demons and stuff like that. And I was like, if you believe in one, you have to believe the full thing. You have to believe in the other one. So if God exists, the devil does too. Like that's the kind of way. I mean, that's how I was taught. I don't know if it's any different, but I was told that there is a big nasty red fella down there who's in charge of giving me, making me bite the fruit from the tree.
Mm-hmm.
But it is quite funny. But that was a weird discussion because he was asking me about if I believe in them and stuff like that. So I just thought that was a fun contrast. The first person I've ever met to confirm God exists to me, but denies the existence of the devil. It was quite a weird one for me. That one.
It's a new one. Eh?
Yeah. So how long have you been doing investigations for, Matt?
I've been in the field about 15 years.
15 years. In that time, you've seen the technological advances of the game, shall we say? Not all of it for the better, as we're all very well aware. But I would like to, I'd like to figure out what's your favorite piece of equipment you've used on investigations, and is there a particular one that you stay away from?
My favorite, honestly, I'm very simple. If you've seen my show, I'm very simple, very simple-minded. I like just a basic recorder. Just the recorder is, to me, is your bread and butter. It's the most basic and it's the most essential, because obviously the cameras, people will say that, well, there's a lot of issues. It's, it's hard to, I wouldn't say hard to validate, but it takes a lot of criticism. A basic recorder, to me, is a little bit more harder to disprove, especially if you're, by yourself or you're in a group, and you follow the right steps. That I feel like the recorder is number one. Always. I'll always have that on. The only one I really am a big, I don't want to say naysayer about, and nothing against anybody who likes them, and I know I'm going to get some crap for this, but an Ovilus. The Ovilus to me is, I just can't understand how you can take an electronic pulse and turn it into words. Like, how can they pick and choose? I mean, you'd be better off with flashcards. I just, to me, I can't make that connection. Like, if they're saying help and it comes across dog, you know what I mean? Like, how can you do that? Like, to me, it's just,
Yeah, I do agree with you on that. Ovilus is a weird one. I don't have an actual Ovilus thing, but I used to have it on my phone, and I don't use it anymore. But what I found really odd about the Ovilus is when you watch investigators, they turn the word into their story. Mm-hmm. And the weirdest thing is, I could say any word to you while we're investigating, and somehow you'll make it make sense to the investigation, no matter what it is. Like, the only one I've ever had that was really creepy was I was stood by a gravestone and I told it to say their name, and the name came up on the Ovilus. That's the only one that was like, okay, damn, that's really good. Mm-hmm. But everything else, I was in an abandoned, I think it was a care home, I think it was, from way back, like second episode I ever did, I think. But we're in there and I was using one then, and it said girl, and I was like, oh, is there a girl here? And then like 2 minutes later, I got a girl's name through, and I was like, oh, it's a name. And it was just very like, the words seemed to bounce off each other, but they were fitting my narrative of where I was at the time. And I was like, well, there must have been a girl here called Maria, because we're in a girl's room. The walls are pink. There's butterflies on the wall. So this must be true. And then everything it said after that, it made sense to me in that thing. So I do have certain doubts about the Ovilus, and I like them being used. I think they're quite fun to watch and to see what people get from them. But I to a degree, I can see exactly where you're coming from.
Sorry, I had to put it there. I had to put that out there. I had to put that up there. Thanks, Raven. There's a little bit of a funny story behind that. We were watching a live. I think, what was it? I think it was last week or the week before. We were watching Paranormal Brew, and me and Raymond were having a little bit of fun because Taryn was talking about Gettysburg, and she loves that place. She goes like 15 times a year.
It's so like Paranormal Mecca.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So the way that she was talking about it, we just brought up the fact that, you know what, Taryn should be the mayor of Gettysburg. So that's why that came up. Yeah,
do it.
That'll be the next one.
Do it. Yep. Separate it from America. Make it its own country of Gettysburg, and then invite no one but paranormal investigators to go and live there.
Ooh, I like that idea.
Yeah. Imagine if we had our own island, Paranormal Island.
Oh God! So I want to go back for a minute here. Just something you said earlier about being simple-minded. Is that an act, or is that actually for real? No, I'm just kidding. I'm not going to ask you.
Actually, that's not bad. That's not bad. No, seriously. I believe it or not, I actually get asked that a lot. And the honest answer is, what you see is what you get. Just like in the paranormal field, I'm exactly who I am, and how I act is how I am on and off camera. There is no difference. I'm not a big fan of acting because I just can't do it. To me, it's like lying. It's too complicated. You got to remember how this, and no, I'm just going to be me. If you like me, great. If you don't, well, there's plenty of other people to watch, like, through the lens.
Well, that's one of the fun things. When I've been caught up in controversy on here, which I'm sure puts a damper in your Para-Unity work with the stuff I've done. But this is true. This is true. But mine were legitimate. I don't call people out for the sake of calling someone out. Like, I've done it 3 times, and each 3 times was warranted to a degree. But there's like, I forgot what I was about to say. Never mind. Hang on. It'll come to me. Oh yeah, that's what. Yeah. So, but that's who I am in. That's who I am in real life. Like I call out bullshit when I see it, and I don't see it being any different to someone's behavior in this field. Like I will defend this field with my life. Like I will stand up for it. And I wish I wouldn't have to do it, but I think sometimes you just got to tell someone that they're talking shit when they are. So sometimes you just got to do it.
Yeah.
But hopefully, them ones are the ones that will break off and stop doing it, and then unity when they realize they've made a mistake. Like I've owned up to things. Someone else I did have an issue with before. I went on their podcast and we talked about it, and we've built bridges, and we both acknowledged that things happened. And and we've learned from it. So sometimes it is good to call someone out on their shit, because once they learn it, they can turn it around. But unfortunately, not everyone's like that. But yeah, let's keep going forward, shall we?
Yeah, we should.
Before I forget anything else that I'm supposed to say.
Just before I ask my next question, for everybody that's in the room or new people that are in the room, right down below is Matt's links. If you want to go over and follow him on his Facebook page. And if you're thinking about joining a group like a P3 program that Matt offers, please go over there. The links are below. And also, if you want, DN-TV, which is now where we're streaming, the link is also below, and also Paranormal Brew. So I just want to get back.
While you do that, sorry, bro. While you do that, we'll wait.
Yeah.
Sorry, bro.
No, that's okay. That's okay. No, that was good. That was good, though. I want to go back to your podcast for a minute.
Yeah.
Because you do a podcast on Wednesday nights and Friday nights. So what led up to starting your own podcast? And it's actually called the Paracast. So
yes. So I just saw Lurker's comment. So it started out with like I said, I've been in this field for a while. I got away from a team setting, I'd say almost 3 years ago. Just because of the drama and the BS, I just decided to get away from a team setting. And I just had that want to get back into it, but I didn't know how to do it. So my wife and I were talking, and this is where the consultant came up. I said, what if I could help multiple teams? I said, that would be, I still get, to be able to go out and investigate, still be able to be a part of the field, but I get to work with multiple teams, not just one. And I don't have to deal with the drama of a team. So I started doing these stupid little videos, and that's exactly what they are. If you go back, it just in my truck, just doing these videos, just talking about the paranormal, talking about how to start a team, just kind of a how-to. And that's where I met one of my managers, Scott Morton, Mr. Fedora. And we started networking and talking, and he goes, why don't you just take it a little bit bigger? I said, well, what are you saying? He goes, well, start actually doing a show. Let's, get it going, get things running, actually start something, set a schedule, and see what happens. So it started off on just Friday nights, and it just took off. It just absolutely took off. Next thing I know, I'm networking with people across the country. Then it became Canada. Then it became overseas. Then it became Japan. It just blew up. And Scott just kind of said, well, I think you need to add a second show. I'm like, yeah, I probably should. So that's just how it happened. It just started off something, simple. Me driving around in my truck or my car, just doing these stupid little videos.
And to add on to that, I got this question sent in by a viewer.
Uh-oh.
They went, how much does Through the Lens influence your podcast now? And how many more questions do you plan to steal from them in the future?
Well, that depends on how many more great questions that they come up with. And
I would like to thank Alex Anderson on Facebook for that comment.
Imitation is the best form of flattery. That's all I've got to say.
Yeah, I would agree. That's good. I like that. I agree with that.
And that's my final statement.
That's it. I like it. A serious question this time. I was waiting. I've been sat
I
here.
thought
with
that
an
was a
envelope
serious
waiting.
question.
No, I've just been waiting to do it.
That was a serious answer.
It was a good answer. I liked it. So, what have you found you've enjoyed the most out of doing your show? What's been the thing that keeps you going for it? What have you loved the most?
There's not just one thing. There's times where
Through the lens. Through the
that
lens.
too, of course.
Through the lens.
That gets me through every Sunday. But there's been times where I'll be honest, because I promote no secrets, so I'm very upfront with everybody about things. There have been times through the past couple of years where I've just like, you know what, is it really worth it? And I think we've all been there at one point in our careers. And there's been multiple times where I'm like, do I really want to keep doing this? And it all comes back to the people. It comes back to the audience. My audience on every one of my shows, no matter if there's one person or 50 people, they're a great group. And we act just like a family. You know, the people I've met through, you know, my guests that have come on. So people like both of you, people like Taryn, people like I would never do that. I don't want all that aggression. But it's everybody. It really is the community and people that I've met that just keep me going. And when I do these videos, I've said on my show a couple times, it's like therapy to me. If I have a bad day at work, I watch, you know, Through the Lens, or I watch some other show while I'm at work. I listen to it, and they say something or do something, like that whole thing with Bad to the Bone, Brian, when you and I were talking about this. Something just clicks to where I'm like, that would make a good show. That's a good topic. And I want to save it for my Wednesdays or Fridays, but I can't. I just get too excited. And then no matter how bad of a day I have, I go live, I talk to my audience or meet people, and it makes things so much better. It's like therapy. And, you know, like I said, that's what keeps me going.
I really agree with you. So I work every Sunday during the day. I work in a restaurant, and I've had, like, I'll use today as the example. I was stressed when I came home, and I know when I sit there and I know that in 2 hours I'm going to be sat talking to a guest and enjoying myself. Like, it really can't. Like, I don't even think about my day at work anymore. Like, this has helped me for a lot doing the show. Yeah, and I agree with you with the guests. I love read. I know sometimes I look like I'm looking away, but I'm always reading the chat, and to see people just talking to us and joining in with the banter is always a fun one. I really enjoy seeing people trolling each other. It's quite a laugh, and I think that's the beauty of these kind of shows. I think it's different every week. Yeah, because you get one new person in there who doesn't know what the hell is going on, and then then they become part of it, and it grows quickly from nothing, and I think that's a really good thing. There's not a lot of effort to sit in front of a camera with somebody and talk about ghost sightings for an hour. It's not that hard to do, and if you keep it going, it is something really fulfilling. I really enjoy doing a show. I have done for the past 47. I'll say 45 episodes. I've missed a couple.
Yeah, I think you have, actually. So Matt, going back to the paranormal side of you, if I can say that, what has been some of your favorite places to investigate?
Oh, geez. Queen Mary, I've done that. The Cosmopolitan Hotel in Old Town San Diego, that was a blast. I loved that one. Gettysburg is always a fun time. If you can't tell, I only live a little bit away from Gettysburg. There's just so many. Every location to me has its own personality. It has its own, flair, and it's what you make of it. So to me, I love them all.
That's got to be Taryn.
I mean, there was an old USO theater in California that I investigated. There's been a couple of, there's just so many. Many.
Can I ask you one thing about one of those places? It's one that I've wanted to go to for a while, but I've seen a lot of the what did I call the? Oh, what, I had a really fun name for the ones who fake stuff, and I can't remember what I called them before. But the fake guys have been there. The Queen Mary, is it as active as these people are making it out to be?
When I was there, because each day could be different, but when I was there, we did have a lot of unexplained situations. A lot of footsteps, banging. I didn't get to see that little girl that I wanted to. Like, they had that spirit of this little girl in the pool area. Apparently she drowned or something. I wanted to catch her, but I didn't hear her, and I didn't get any EVPs. Because
I know there's a room that they've taken the number off. Which is, if I ever go there, that's the room I want to stay in. Like 100%.
Is that room? Is it 44, 42, something like that?
I think
B
it's
340 or something like that. I can't remember what it is. Yeah, but there's
because and I'm going to say this: numbnuts went there, and I'm talking about the guy that lives here in Canada.
Oh yeah, because there's also a group like I used to love watching when I was getting into the paranormal field. I watched Sam and Colby all the time, and now I don't, but I did watch them all the time. As entertaining as they are, it's not real, so I stopped watching them. But that was their Queen Mary visit. I think they did it twice, and it was the first they stayed in that room, and it seemed really cool. They got but they had like a whole audio thing rather than a video. They said they turned the cameras off, so it's a bit fishy. But I just wanted to know because it's one of the places that I always wanted to go to. But I also feel I think that's the problem with the fake ones, is because it does give you a false sense of expectation. So I'm interested about the Queen Mary.
Do you know who I'm talking about when I say he lives near me? He lives like literally. He lives like 20 minutes away from me.
MS, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know who that is, Matt?
Nope.
I won't say his name on here, but sometimes I like to eat at a restaurant called Blow Fargy. it's a good restaurant, Blow Fargy. They served me some fake burgers. Some.
You know who we're talking about now?
Now I know. Now I got it.
Paranormal
Brew said to say it. It's Mo Sargi. There you go. But
he lives like
very subtle.
He lives like literally 20 minutes away from me. Yeah. So I'm not proud of that.
You should go and get him. You should go and get him and take him to Blue Ghost Tunnel. And
he's been there several times, and the stuff. It's like you know what? This is what makes me laugh about him is that he's supposedly this paranormal investigator, but streams every time he sees something. It's like it's just ridiculous. But anyway,
I just want to address something. I just want to address something in the chat here. I don't work at a McDonald's, guys. I know. I've got the headset. May I take your order, please?
Oh, is that what that meant? I was wondering what that was.
I said I work at a restaurant on Sundays.
Yeah.
And then,
okay.
I work at a lovely restaurant. I work at a steakhouse called Middleton's. Okay, decent place. Look it up.
Don't be mean to him. He's a nice guy.
I would if I worked in a fast food chain, it would be Burger King because it has a king in it. That's literally it.
And they make their burgers. And to be honest, their burgers are much better.
And I had a fat meal at Burger King the other day. So loving it. But again, digress. So with those favorite places, have you got any that have you been? Is there any ones that have ever been too scary for you, or a place that you just won't go back to because of bad experiences?
I mean, I've had a couple of clients that have set stuff up for us. That's tried to fake stuff for us, so to speak. Speakers hidden everywhere, stuff like that. I wouldn't say there's any location that I would not go back to, because like I said, every location has its own, personality.
Yeah. And
you never know what you're going to get in any some nights you'll get a lot, some nights you don't. And to me, that's fascinating.
Yeah.
So no, I don't think there's one that I wouldn't.
Is there a standout scary moment you've had then?
I had one here locally. Now, I'm one of those, I want to say disclaimer here first.
Okay.
But I'm one of those individuals.
Let me type this up in the ticker.
Yeah, there you go. I'm one of those guys, and I've said on my teams before, if I get pinned to a ceiling fan and I'm just spinning around, don't help me. Record it, because that's evidence. If there's a dark, hallway, a boiler room, wherever that nobody wants to go to, I'm the first guy in there. If I hear a knock or a bang, I'm running at it. I don't do the dude run thing and just run out. So that being said, there was one night here at the cemetery that's not too far from me, and we were just investigating, just checking it out. And I don't know how it is where you guys are at, but here in the States, a lot of cemeteries have like an overburden area where they just put a lot of extra dirt, or some people put trash and stuff.
No, not here.
Well.
Well, I've never seen any personally, so there might be. I've just never seen any. Of course, even though I'm a paranormal investigator, I don't really hang out in cemeteries. To be honest, the cemeteries really aren't my thing. So.
I just love the feel of them. To me, it's just the energy there. The energy there is just calming. But I'm a different breed.
But I'm kind of the same as you. Like cemeteries for me, I've done one, and I didn't get much, and I didn't expect to, because for me it's the place of rest for them. I can't see him that. I mean, I do see. I've seen some investigations where they're very active, but the one that I went to isn't. But I did enjoy the fact that the idea that someone could speak to me. I think that's why I like them, because you can see the names, and you want to find out more. And I'm intrigued by their stories.
See, I like them just because of the energy that they give off, the the whole atmosphere of it, and it's good training, especially for like newer investigators. It's a good chance for them to kind of get that stigma out of their system. But anyway, there's a cemetery where if you have to use the restroom, we'll just put it nicely, you go into this back area that's hidden, and it's by like a wooded area, so you get a little bit of privacy. And that's what I was going to do. I went and turned the corner of this overburden, and it was probably about a 10-foot pile of dirt just sitting there. So I turned the corner, and there was a black figure, probably about 9 to 10 feet tall, standing right in front of me. And I just went, "You're big." Nope. And I backed away, and it did startle me. I was puckered, but yeah, I wouldn't say I ran. There's not much that I ran into that I've actually ran from, because to me it's evidence. It's good evidence. If the scratches, I mean, obviously protect yourself, and I'm very confident in my protection and what I do, so I get a little cocky. I guess I kind of want to present myself as a trigger object, so to speak, which is what I'm going to be doing in this next investigation. But I just say, if you get scratched, pushed, screamed at, whatever, it's good evidence. Why wouldn't you want it?
But this is the fun thing about that separates the investigators from the fake ones. Really, it's a very obvious tell when you put. I could pluck any random fake video off the internet and put it up against a real one, and the reaction of something happening shows you which one's which. Because Brian says it best. He says that we're a different breed. Where normal people run away from the noises, we run headfirst into them.
Oh yeah,
exactly. Well, of course, it's different in the movies, right?
Oh yeah.
So,
yeah, but so you just said something in there about a future investigation. Could you tell us about that future investigation that you're doing?
Yeah, absolutely. So.
Well, I'm glad he said yes. I'm glad he was like, no, I would not tell you about this investigation.
No
well,
secret,
then I was
remember?
But the funny thing is, I had something to follow up that if he did say that, because I was going to ask him about the investigation he did with Brandon Crotty. So just recently. So I had a backup plan.
Well, that's good though, because the one I did with Brandon, I don't think I'm allowed to talk about just yet.
Well, no, but you could talk about it a little briefly, where you went, what the place was like, what the history of it. You could talk about that, not necessarily the investigation.
Yeah, true. But yeah,
I had three plans there. Fair
enough. And what Lurker said, yeah, I do actually. Him and Sarah get a kick out of this. I'm not afraid to tell spirits that they have passed away. I have said that to spirits. I'm like, you do know you're dead, right? Yeah, that's anyway. So March 11th, myself, MJC Paranormal, Crossover Paranormal, and a couple others are going to be taking on the USS North Carolina.
Yeah.
And
Damn, I wish I was going to that.
we wish you were too.
Oh God. Yeah.
There's always another time.
You know what? Because Mason spoke to me about a month and a half ago about it. He wanted me to come, and we were talking about me going to the UK. Okay, North Carolina, UK. Yeah,
I don't blame you.
Yeah.
Just a small swim.
Yeah, right. For me though, the North Carolina and anything military based to me it's like going home. It's a chance for me to thank the ones who gave more than some, and to give me a chance to actually pay my respects and maybe even help them. Maybe there's something going on, but I do know, and actually I have it right here. This was actually sent to me this is a national defense ribbon that I used to wear in the military. Sadly, I lost mine, but Paratime Investigations, Doug and Christy, sent this to me. So I'm going to be wearing that. I tried to get a hold of a uniform, but
Paratime, they just joined Parapost, I think.
I hope so.
I think they just did. Yeah. That's why the name sounds familiar.
Doug and Christy Curtis. Great people.
Cool. Sorry
Great
for cutting you off there.
No, by all means.
No. So you want to get to the Lex.
Yes.
Mr. Lex. I know we're getting down to our final question. And I'm hoping that you're going to spin this in a way that what you said at the beginning of the show with that piece of paper you held up there, the copyright stuff. So let's spin it into a way that we can get that across to Brandon. We can get that across to Matt so he doesn't do it anymore. So, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, but what did I have on the paper? I can't remember what I said at the beginning. Refresh my memory. What did I say?
The piece of paper was saying somebody from Facebook wrote a question in and about the copyright stuff and all those things.
Yeah, that thing.
Yeah.
That's
so spin the last question
into
a way that we get our point across to Matt. And it's all joking, Matt. It's all joking. We're not serious at all.
No, I figured.
Okay, Matt. So you're probably already aware of this last question of mine, seeing as you've potentially stolen it already. Now, seeing as you've seeing as you have a history of stealing content, which got you a strike on Facebook for stealing someone's lightning photo. If we could print our own money, which you would inevitably copy and have that money for yourself, where would you take yourself to investigate anywhere in the world? And how much money would we get back in claims?
That's a good one. That's a good one. I like that one.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, that one was good.
Hang on, my lawyer's here. Hang on.
Okay.
Fine. Cool. Yep.
You got it on. You have it on record.
I have it on record, and I've also got my lawyer.
Honestly,
my top of my bucket list is the Hellfire Club. That is my dream investigation. It to me, this symbology of it is perfect for this field. You've got heaven above, you got the church, and you've got hell on the bottom in the Hellfire Club itself. And the history of it, the darkness of it, it just makes sense. And that's one of those to where if I get the chance, I'm gone. Forget it. And as far as kickbacks for you guys, you're coming with me. I'll use your own money to pay.
Is that all right?
Really?
The devil?
Mm-hmm. Really? You down for that? Is that good enough?
Is
that work?
Does that stand up in court?
Yes, a little bribery.
My lawyer says that's fine.
Okay.
Well,
no, that's
what?
Cool.
It's very cool. One thing I will say to Matt, I like what you're doing. I want you to continue doing what you're doing. Keep building the P3 program. Keep being you. And, even though every single day there always seems to be a big announcement on your lives, I'm still waiting for that big announcement. No, I'm just kidding.
Me too. I'll wait for you guys to announce it, then I'll announce it after.
Nah, just kidding. I'm just kidding. But you know what, dude? Honestly, I've been planning this for a while. I kind of had a time where I really wanted to bring you on, and I thought this was a perfect time. And I'm glad you came on the show today. I'm glad you're doing what you're doing. Keep doing what you're doing. And the support you give everybody's incredible. And you're just a good person. And, and I'm saying this because, and this is a guy way. This is guy stuff here. Okay. I love you, buddy.
He's about to say something really gay.
I love you, buddy. And, I always support you. And I've always told you, if you ever need anything, just reach out and I'll do the best I can to help you. And, but just keep doing your thing. You got a good thing going. And what I would like you to do is to let people know what's happening in September. Okay.
Okay. Before I do that, I just want to add on, I feel the same way about you guys too. Through the Lens, I love watching it. I love listening. Hell, I listen at work. I mean, I put my Bluetooth in and I've got you guys, the phone in my pocket, and I try to comment when I get a chance to. Every week I look forward to it. Just like with everybody else's shows. And, now that I've seen, Paranormal Brew, and yes, Taryn, I'm going to give you the shout out. I appreciate everything you're doing as well. You guys are doing exactly the same thing that I'm trying to do. So the support's always there. And I just want to just say that you guys are awesome.
Oh, thank you. And obviously
maybe not with tights. Maybe not with tights. I don't have the legs.
We'll have some ghostly hoodies on. But yeah, I'd like to take a minute to take, all jokes aside, with the stealing of our show. But
you'll see it again on Wednesday, I promise.
For anybody for anybody in the chat who seems to think that we're just really like arrogant about it, that we don't own these questions. Ooh, it's fake and gay, all that stuff. Right. No. Well, we do have a lot of love for you, Matt, and it's just very funny. I remember that first day, you're like, "Oh, you got some really good questions." I think you messaged Brian. You have some really good questions. I might use them on my show. And I was like, and for me, that was like joke time. We got loads.
I knew something was coming.
But all that aside, we have a lot of respect for your show, and we had obviously a lot of fun when we went there onto it, and we're looking forward to coming back on once our tour finalizes and going through that with everyone. But no, I think today was a great opportunity to have you on. It was cool to speak to you about some of the stuff that we've heard. Obviously, we've spoken to you for a little while. We've seen your shows. We've been on your shows. And I still felt like today we learned stuff about you, which is really cool. And that's what I like about this show. We get to know you as much as the guests get to know you as well. And to launch DN-TV and Paranormal Brew streaming us with you on the show, I think it's a great thing for us. And we appreciate you taking the time out to spend some time with us, who are clearly bitter that you're doing very well and just ripping you off for it. But
well, I appreciate it, and I was told Brian, this has been kind of a want of mine for a while. I've been wanting to come on and just chat with you guys, but I didn't want to impose, and I know you have better guests, but
we do. But they couldn't make it today, so you had to fill in.
Exactly.
Well, there was a bit. I think it was like halfway through us doing this show once. Brian put you on the ban list. He said something like you sent him something in the mail and it didn't fit him properly, and he was nervous about speaking to you about it. So he put you on a ban list. It was weird.
What are you talking about?
I was wondering.
Yeah, you're playing secret, Brian. He's pretending he doesn't. He's pretending he doesn't know about the underwear you sent him. It's fine.
Oh my God! What? Wow.
No, but you know what? People for the people that are in the room, again, in the description below, you can find Matt's links to all his places where he streams, and YouTube, Facebook, and Parapost, and all those wonderful places. And go give him a follow. Go over to his YouTube and give him a subscribe, because this guy's doing some wonderful things. And his event that's coming up in September.
Yes, September 26th and 27th.
Yeah, so it's going to be a good event. Go check that out on his page. I believe that's on his Facebook page.
Yes.
That event. Yeah. So
yes.
Get ready for that. It's going to be a great day. I'm hoping to get out there. We'll see. But
I think a lot of people get out there.
Yeah, for sure.
Lex, you're coming too.
It's definitely well, if he's going to swim.
They have invented the aeroplane, Brian. It's been around a while.
No,
you take a train.
No. But again, Matt, thank you very much. And I know you got to get to work, so we'll definitely let you go. And have a great night. Okay.
You guys too. Thank you all so much for having me.
We'll see you soon.
Ciao. Taryn says goodbye, by the way.
Bye, Taryn.
Oh, there we go.
And he's back. Oh, and he's back.
What's going on here? Yeah, there you go. So no, that was great. I love Matt. He's a great guy. He's got some good energy, and his program is something that is climbing up that ladder. So hopefully people that are interested will go over to his page.
Yeah. Well, what I love about him is his optimism. I think he's one of the most positive thinkers in this field in terms of bringing us all together. And maybe he will be the man to do it. Who knows? But I look forward to seeing the efforts. But anyone who's been watching today who does go over there, put a comment in his comment section that you came from Through the Lens. Let him know where you came from. And then just remind him that we are still the #1 podcast for paranormal stuff.
No, unfortunately, we're not, because there's somebody in the back room right now that was voted. We weren't voted.
Yeah, fine. 1.5. Okay,
but
the #1 in the UK and Canada.
Yeah,
there you go.
Yeah, well, there you go. Hey, maybe there will be a category like that.
That would be cool, wouldn't it?
Yeah, that would be cool. That would be very cool. We would probably win.
We probably could win. I'd like us to get a little trophy. I could put it in the background, and every time Matt comes on our show, I'll be like,
That's awesome. But there's a few people I want to thank for today. The first person I want to thank is Matt for coming on the show today. The second person I want to thank is Taryn from Paranormal Brew. So if you want to go follow her YouTube channel or her Facebook page, it is down below. Well, her Facebook page is down below. You have to go over to YouTube and punch in Paranormal Brew. And I want to also thank DN-TV again for allowing us to come to their network and allowing us to stream on their network. Hopefully it will be a long relationship. And Drew has been a good friend of mine for just about 3 years now, and he's a good guy. So go over to them and give them a follow and watch some of their other podcasts on there. And I will let you know, Parapost Network Central, they are bringing some of their podcasts over to Parapost Central as well. So definitely looking forward to that. But I want to thank Taryn for being our producer today. Well, she's our producer every week, so I want to give her that thanks. But anyways, other than that, I want to say my goodbyes. And you guys have a wonderful rest of the day and a great week until we see you next week. Oh, just to let you know, next week show, it's already set up and it's ready to go. We are going to have Get Haunted on Through the Lens, and that will be Rob and Bill. The reason they're coming on the show is because they had an event yesterday at White Hill Mansion, and they're going to be showing the event and some clips from the investigation. So you definitely do not want to miss that. I'm looking forward to that because I am going to that in April. I'm going to White Hill Mansion in April. So you definitely want to come back next week and check those guys out. And because Rob and Bill are great guys. And I will show you something. Bill, being the guy he is, he sent me this stuff this week. So it's like a REM pod and it's like a K2. And he was nice to send this stuff out to me for me to use in the videos coming up. So I'm looking forward to using them. So you definitely want to go over and go to Get Haunted and find Bill and look at some of his equipment, because it's, you know what, this K2 is pretty cool, and the way it feels in my hand is it's pretty cool. It's pretty nice. And when I bring it over, Lex, you're gonna go, holy crap, that feels nice. You know?
Yeah, you might have to
So-
double check your bag that you've got it back, because
Oh. So I want to thank everybody that came out from Parapost Network Central to watch the show today. And there are there's some more shows coming up, and you'll definitely want to check them out as well. So I'm going to say goodbye and have a good week.
that was beautifully said.
Yeah,
Absolutely beautiful.
I didn't even know what to say, to be honest.
And I just want to I thank everyone that Brian thanked. Obviously, we couldn't be where we are without them. We're doing very well, and it is thanks to the help of these people. But also, it's a massive, massive thank you to everyone who watches this show week in, week out, first-time viewers and anyone. The show is for you guys to enjoy, and the more you enjoy it, the more we'd love to keep doing it. So keep showing the love, keep spreading it around, share the videos, like them, comment on other people's videos. Go check out this channel, man. Come watch the show. It's a great show. And the answer for when is Zach Baggins coming on the show? When we next have Kenny Biddle on. I think Raymond answered it perfectly. I think that would be a great show if they could do that. But I just want to say thank you to everyone who watches. Thank you to everyone who's not seen us before, who came in today from DN-TV. And once again, thank you to DN-TV for bringing us on board. And good night, guys. We'll see you next week.